You saw the stabbing.
I thought it was a bit.
Well, yeah, right.
Turns out it was a dude who like climbed some part of the Hollywood mountains, like Runyon, with a knife and snuck it down.
He never had a ticket even.
No, he went through the back, like the mountains, and came down. Somehow got that close to stage. You know, that's Hollywood. You do running, you get those endorphins pumping. You're like, I'm going to stab Dave Chappelle. So that's why hiking is dangerous. You get too confident in this fucking town.
Today's podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Get $20 off your first order when you use my code NASH. Guys, what's up? We're here. Welcome back to the All Good Things podcast. Trevor Wallace is here.
We are in this building. We're at this Rainforest Cafe.
Have you been to Rainforest?
Have I?
It's actually
Where do you think I have my bar mitzvah?
Really? You're
No.
not Jewish.
Yeah, of course I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Ah, no wonder you're so funny.
Funny, self-deprecating, big nose. Welcome to the trial. No, my dad's Christian.
I'm Jewish too.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead. Your dad's what?
Dad's Christian, mom's Jewish. So by...
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think by looks, you know, I don't have a lot of the Jewish features.
No, you don't.
But
and I don't either. People think I'm Irish, which I am. That's what came out.
well, I think you can be Irish and Jewish.
Yeah, I'm both. But
Yeah.
but I was with Josh Peck the other day doing his podcast.
Name drop.
Big
name drop
I was
guy.
with Josh Peck and Kid Cudi the other day doing.
Oh, nice. Nice. They got a collab coming out, I heard.
Yeah, we got a podcast with three of
Kid
us.
Peck. Yeah, there you go.
Kid Cudi's real name is Scott.
Scott.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
Future.
it's his real name.
You know Future's real name? Nevadius. Swear to God.
No way.
Swear to God. Why not?
Nevadius is
You can't.
Scott. I don't know a lot of
can't
black
say his
guys named
name.
Scott.
Oh, okay, I see.
Right?
Well, what's interesting about Trevor Wallace, a lot of people think that I'm an African-American gentleman. People think I'm a black dude.
Yeah, I can see
I've shown up to a comedy club at the Ice House Comedy Club maybe like 7 years ago. Show up, I'm like, hey, I'm Trevor Wallace. And they're like, his manager? And I was like, I'm a child. What do you mean a manager? If a 1-year-old is your manager, you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Young Managers? Young Managers are really funny.
I have, but it always makes sense. It's like an influencer who's like, this is my manager. That is your best friend, Kevin.
Yeah.
Or the momager. The momager's always interesting.
Momagers are unreal.
You know?
They make a little more sense, but one time we met like Lil Pump's manager and he was
hilarious.
like 14.
Hilarious. And you like go to the Instagram bio, it's like aspiring rapper / manager. I'm like, you can't be both.
No.
I love it. I mean, dude, I don't do a crazy amount of auditions, but sometimes you go in the room where there's like 7 different audition rooms and there's like the mom with their kids. Yeah. And you want to go up to the mom and be like, let him free. Let him have a life. Who gives a if he's on Disney Plus? He's going to be tormented as a child.
I mean,
he's going to grow up and have 4 friends.
Most of the stories that I hear about kid actors is the kids beg it. They beg for
really?
it. That's basically what I've seen.
Okay, if that's the case, I get it. But I know there's like moms who moved from Oklahoma to be like, my boy got blue eyes and a future. I don't give a shit about the jungle gyms. My boy is booking a Hulu show.
So you were a child actor?
No.
Yeah.
No, I was like chewing on Legos. I was. No, I like always loved comedy though, and I think that's where like my like path came about.
Me too. What was your first like comedy thing that you like? What made you go, oh, I want to do this? Like, is there anybody or anything you saw?
I remember my parents had a Robin Williams special. He was wearing a Hawaiian shirt, a bunch of water bottles, and I think he had a headset that went on this like a one that goes on the side of your face, almost like a Shark Tank one. Mm-hmm. And I remember my parents were like, you can't watch this. This is R-rated. You can't watch this. Of course, the one thing I did when they're out of town was watched it, and I was just like encapsulated. I loved him. He was so talented. You know, Mrs. Doubtfire I could watch religiously. I just would keep watching it. I don't know what it was about it. I just like I never cared for like war movies or like sports, you know, my friends, but you gotta watch Friday Night Lights, and I'm like, this is not funny. This is boring. Football, who gives a shit? I never resonated with that. Right. So it's that. I love Dumb and Dumber. That's like my like go-to movie. Anything Will Ferrell back in the day. Early Adam Sandler. Really, those were like my foundations of like. That would be my comedy Mount Rushmore of comedic actors. Uh-huh. And then I would do Ben Stiller, a late addition. Yeah. Ben Stiller crushes comedy roles.
Dude, when I saw Something About Mary for the first time in the movie theater, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, just like.
Blew me away.
Ben Stiller he's done everything, but like some of my favorite roles are his like small ones. Not small, but like ones where he like Dodgeball, so good. But also like Happy Gilmore, when he plays the nurse.
Yes,
he oversees. Yes. It's like, anybody else's fingers hurt? Like, just so funny.
He's almost stronger in those little parts because there's less of him.
It's great.
He steals the show.
Those are the type of roles that, like, my agent will send me auditions to be like, hey, do you want to be the next lead in a Marvel movie? And I look at those, I go, I don't have a shot with this. Send me like...
No, you got to think that you do.
You think?
Yeah, you really do. Because look at Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd was not...
You don't...
He is hot.
Yeah, but like Paul Rudd can look in the mirror and be like, I can be a lead. I'm like, I love the fact that I'm getting an audition to be a Marvel guy.
Yeah. Did you go in for the Marvel thing?
I've gotten for all types of Marvel stuff, like random stuff I never thought I would think. But I go like, give me the role in there, a guy who works as a barista in the you know, for whatever reason he needs a coffee before saving the world, and he encounters me.
Yeah.
Like I'll get like an audition to play like a guy at a juice bar in an episode of like Curb. Like that to me, I'm like, perfect.
Right.
Get in, do a little thing.
Did you audition for Curb?
I did.
How'd it go?
It's all improv.
Right.
So it's almost more nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because they're like, do you?
Yeah.
Because if you don't do well in an audition and it's all scripted and written, like traditional, you go, lines. It wasn't in my talent. But when it's improv, it's you.
Yeah. It's on you. Was Larry there?
No, this is self-tape.
Your videos are crushing. They're so great.
Thanks.
And how do you put them together? We just watched like, I don't know, 20 of them.
I was pretty late. Yeah, this is your time.
No, you're good. How do you put those together? Like, how long does it take you to shoot Dangling Earring Guy or?
That one, I'll get the idea. So my notes app is just all my ideas. And then I'll pretty much be like, all right, I have the next 2 weeks of videos booked out. Oh, I need to shoot something for a third week. All right, go through my notes. What do I like? Oh, this Dangly Earring one. I think this would be good. Let's get this one up.
Right.
Oh, that's a f***ing TV in wood?
Yeah. We carved it out of a tree.
Cool.
Special delivery, it's me.
And they've gotten really polished, haven't they?
Yeah. And it's funny to see a TV that's vertical. I think we're all going to be in movie theaters just watching TikTok compilations that are vertical. So this one, funny story about this, I had 2 weekends in a row where I was doing tour shows, and I was like, dude, I'm not going to be able to shoot for the next 2 weeks. Let's film this at like 10 a.m. before my flight.
Yeah.
Filmed it, felt like it was rushed. I was editing it on the flight, and I go, this is too rushed. Come back for a day, film the rest, and then we get back to the edit. So that was like 2 shoot days.
Did you edit it?
I really wanted this one out ASAP, but I have another guy, John, who I edit. He's like my guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me edit it, see if I like it. If it's too much or too chaotic at the time, I'll send it to you, but I'll at least send you a scratch cut to be like, replicate this, but not
Got it.
Because he'll throw color on it. He'll like make sure it sounds good.
Yeah.
A lot of times I just put the jokes together. Like this is the pacing and the order.
Yeah.
Because I started out editing my own stuff. Literally on iMovie. So.
What are you working now? To edit iMovie.
Final Cut. Yeah.
I saw you at the one thing. I went and watched the Bert roast.
Oh yeah, Bert Kreischer.
Whitney Cummings did a roast for Bert Kreischer at the Comedy Stores, and we went. My fiance and I went.
Nice.
And I was pleasantly surprised to see you were the host.
Yeah.
I was bricks for you.
Really?
And
I
you
was
did,
too.
First of all, I DM'd you, but you did so good.
Yeah.
I mean, you held your own with the best. I mean, Jim Norton.
Yeah,
is unreal.
All those guys, New York legends.
Whitney was great.
Yeah.
Darnell Rawlings.
Big J. Okerson.
Yeah. What was that like? How did that come about?
So Whitney and I just kind of became friends through mutuals. Then I did our podcast. She did our podcast. The classic LA friend request. Do my pod, I'll do yours. You know, shake hands in the middle. And if you know Whitney, she is... If Adderall had legs, she's just like always, she's always spitballing. And one day she texts me, she goes, Bert Kreischer roast, want you to host. She doesn't use full sentences.
Yeah.
That's how busy and successful she is. She goes, you figure it out. When I text, it's a Mad Lib, right? Yeah. So she goes, Bert Kreischer roast, you down host? I go, sure, I don't think anything of it. I didn't even know I was getting paid for it, right?
Yeah.
And then as it starts leading up, she's putting me in group chats. She loves group chats. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever texted. Oh, she'll put you in 27 group chats just to go get a coffee, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, hey, Trevor, these are the production and the producers and here's some writers and send your scripts here. And then I'm like, whoa, this is a whole thing. All of a sudden, I'm in between tour dates coming back and I'm in like a full blown like writing room. with other comedians that I knew, and
Yeah.
it's like we're making the best goddamn script. But she comes from the Comedy Central roast background.
Yep.
And those are like, as you know, those are like as pristine as those get.
Yeah.
So it's airing on OnlyFans TV.
But I think that this roast is on the level of those Comedy Central roasts.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's just that Comedy
the
Central
design.
can't make those roasts anymore because they'll get canceled.
You think?
Yeah, I talked to a comedian about it, and they were like, "Yeah, it's really tough." Like, I'm not going to say who it was, but they were like, "Yeah, they're just like afraid."
Yeah.
To put these roasts out, they're waiting to see if the culture changes a little.
I think eventually they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
because it's nostalgia. They're bringing Beavis and Butthead back, the best show on. I love Beavis and Butthead, but you watch it and you go, oh, this is funny, but it's not what it used to be. You know,
you mean Beavis and Butthead?
Well, anything that they bring back. So I think they're gonna bring back a roast. It'll get a lot of eyes because it's a new thing, and they go, oh, I wish we could have went harder on that. I wish they went harder. Then you'll talk to a writer and be like, dude, the jokes they had to cut.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what the f going on, but there was a roast of Mr. Peanut the other day. I swear to God, for the Super Bowl, they did like, but like for real talented comedians that I know wrote on it. Yeah. And it's on YouTube, the roast of Mr. Peanut. And it's a lot of, but you see this, Jeff Ross hosted it. But you see this and you go, if we can roast a fictional peanut,
yeah,
you know, we can.
That's all they can roast.
But I got to go, who at Planters was pitching this?
Well, it's a peanut, a roasted peanuts.
Well, it's a great.
It's an easy. But
what's funny
slam
is.
dunk, actually.
What's funny is I know a few people that wrote on this.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, there was jokes that they had to cut. And I go, what a world where you're getting notes back. Hey, you went too hard on the CGI peanut. We got notes back from the producers that you can't roast a man with a monocle. There was people in the crowd. But doing the roast for Bert Kreischer, as time started to tick up, I go, oh, this is a real thing. And she's sending me photos of the set. You know, there's wardrobe. It's insane. It's so... You know, I was pretty busy the week of, and I wish I spent more time kind of going over my jokes and whatnot. And it's only one run through.
But you're reading.
Yeah, there's a prompter there, but you want to be present. You want to deliver the jokes, not read them.
Right.
And for the most part, I knew all the jokes because it was like either me and this guy Connor McSpadden, very funny dude, helped me, kind of formulate the best set possible. Yeah. And
you had a lot of jokes, man.
Yes.
I don't know what made the cut, but I think you had like opened with like 40 jokes. Is that too many?
It was a ton. It was
40, 50
It was like
jokes?
12 minutes up there.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of like zingers.
Yep.
And Whitney was kind of like, her angle on it was like, pitch it as if, you know, you're the new kid in comedy and these are the old guys and what's the difference, but what's the middle ground? So she wanted me to have a narrative that wasn't just so like, Bert Kreischer looks like a big gulp. Like they wanted like a narrative with the one-liners. Narrative meaning like kind of just what this roast means to me. These are my idols, best friends type of shit. So kind of like that. So it had a fun play to it where it was like half HDMI disconnected. So it had a fun kind of flow to it.
I felt too that
I was definitely nervous.
They went in on you,
of course,
for your success,
which is a great thing,
right? But they went in on you for the fact that you've had internet success, which I was in the audience like, well, I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Well, I mean, yeah,
the guy goes out and makes really funny videos,
right? Which I expected.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting.
I thought it was going to be like
it made them look out of touch.
Correct. It proved my point more so. Yeah. Because I was up there being like, this is the future. You guys are still trying to sell tickets on eBay and shit. Garage sale, 2-for-1 special at the Omaha Funny Bone. So for me, if anything, it just drew more attention. But like, I thought that like, given the production value, I thought these guys were going to like call my like ex-girlfriends and be like, what's the tea on this guy?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about his size, what can we really roast him about? But they were like, I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe had a great set. He crushed. I forget what he said about me.
What did he say?
I forget. There's some
I
comments.
watch Kill Tony all the time.
Oh yeah, those clips.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody said I look like a bird. Classic. I do. Look like the Seahawks logo. I'll be the first to tell you that. But I was nervous, you know. It's a different tone. The crowd was. It's a TV crowd, which I've never performed in front of. You know, they've been sitting there for 4 hours. They can't get up to pee.
No.
You know, it's like very like sit down, have fun. And you're like, why are you yelling at me to have fun?
Also, like Tony Hinchcliffe, like does that for a living.
Oh yeah,
like that's how he makes his money.
Yeah,
roasting people every week.
Jim
Norton has done big roast. Whitney too.
Yeah.
And you've never done anything like that, right?
No, we used to, on a very small scale. Our fraternity would do a roast every semester for the seniors graduating.
Yeah,
and when I was a freshman, my pledge semester, there was like the 4 seniors roasting the other seniors, and I was like, oh, I want to do it. They're like, who is this kid? Like we don't even like. I wasn't a popular kid in my frat until I did the roast.
Right.
Like, you know how they pick like, oh, you want to be my little bro, big bro type of shit?
Yeah.
Nobody even picked me. I was a loser. Because I had like my 5 friends in the frat that I hung out with. And then when it went rounds, everybody would like, you would pick your like top 5.
Yeah.
Nobody picked me. And then one random guy, shout out Steven, was like, oh, I'll take the kid on. He seems chill.
Right.
So I was like an orphan at the frat. I do this roast. I do like a page and a half and just crush.
You did?
And they were like, who the f***? And I was like, I'd been doing stand-up by that point. And I was like, oh, yeah, like I like love to do this.
Yeah, so that was like a big pivotal moment,
dude,
like crushing at the frat.
It was my Goliath moment. I pulled the sword out, or I don't know if that's the right story. It's one of those. But that was the moment where I gained the respect from the other people in the fraternity.
Yeah.
I loved it. So that was my only roast experience. I did the roast battle at the Comedy Store twice, I think.
And so what happens when you go out on tour? Like how many shows have you been doing? Like how many shows you do a year, like touring?
This year, 2022 was the biggest one where you
kind of sat out COVID, obviously.
Yes and no. I mean, there was a year where I wasn't touring, and then randomly my agent was like, hey, most comedy clubs are closed, but in Appleton, Wisconsin, they don't give a fuck. Dude, they didn't care. Right. My agent was like, hey, they're doing 80% capacity to be safe for COVID.
Yeah.
I show up. They had like a 2-top in the back empty. And they're like, that's the 80%. I didn't give a shit. But I remember like I was like about to leave for that flight the next day. And my mom was like, don't do this. Trevor, it is not safe to do comedy right now.
Jewish mother.
100%.
Yeah.
She's like, do you really need to do the shows right now? I'm like, Mom, I'm doing shows over Zoom right now.
Yeah.
Get me out of here. And I remember like getting on a flight to go do comedy, and you're looking around, everybody had a mask on. You're like, and then you land in Wisconsin. They're like, yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
So last year, I think I did around 50 cities. It was a lot. It was.
How many nights? You do 4 nights or 1 night?
Well, these were theater tour nights, so it would be like I would do 1 show a night per city.
Got it.
So like it'd be like North Carolina one night, then South Carolina, and then like Georgia or something.
That's incredible. To play a theater?
Yeah,
That's like 3,000 people.
Right? They were anywhere from like 500 to like 1,800.
That's really good.
Oh, it's great.
It's what?
The perfect spot is like that 1,000 cap theater.
Yeah.
Because it's, at least for me personally, it's still controllable.
Yep.
It's not like too big where you're like looking up and there's like 4 tiers in the balcony.
What's the biggest one you've done?
The biggest one I did, I opened for Theo Vaughn at the Wiltern here, and that's 1,800.
Oh,
that was
Wiltern,
big.
Yeah.
The Wiltern, yeah.
And so what was the first video where you got traction that you made?
Yeah, it was one where I made a video about Zumiez employees. Zumiez, a skate shop. 2017, I believe. I just did like life of a Zumiez employee.
Yeah.
And I went in the store and acted like a fake employee.
Uh-huh.
Not like prank, like I didn't like talk to other customers. I just said like one-liner type videos.
Uh-huh.
Like essentially the same format as like blank set.
My dad says, yeah.
Yeah, you know, exactly. So, and then I just literally on my phone just held it like this and just was like, oh, these socks 2 for $20.
All right, here, we can do this. Let's run through this.
Oh,
really
what is this?
quick.
Oh, I've always wanted to do one of these.
Yeah,
this is like GQ.
Yeah. Let's do it now. It's a Google board.
Oh,
This
wow.
is, Most asked questions about Trevor Wallace. Let's
This
see.
is fun. I see all these interviews all the time. I got to multitask here.
Here we go.
What is Trevor Wallace's net worth? That's what people want to know about me
Let me
first.
guess how much money you have in the bank.
Go for it.
Okay, you played 50 shows, and you've got 1,000 seats. Meet and greets?
Meet and greets.
Okay, so you're walking away with 15,000, 20,000 a night.
I don't know about that.
50 shows, yeah.
I don't know about
$35 a ticket.
I don't know about that.
$100 meet and greet.
No.
Nah, you're walking away with at least 10 to 20 G's those shows. Gotta be.
I don't know.
Okay. Your net worth, you probably have $3 million in the bank.
Nah. I wish.
Well, you wouldn't say anyway.
No, I don't have that.
You don't?
I don't have that. No. No, I don't have that, man.
See, your money comes from your YouTube,
YouTube,
and you're
podcast, touring,
and your podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any merch or anything.
Merch.
Yeah, I don't have that.
No.
Okay.
So your net worth is, I mean, we can look it up, but it's probably
But here's
not right.
the thing, Google's hilarious. It either says like negative 300K or I'm like Dan Bilzerian. Like there's no middle ground. I don't know where they get these numbers from. What does Google say?
Let's look it up. Trevor.
Oh, 2023. Damn, they're on it.
5.7 mil. Okay.
No. But where are they getting these numbers from? If I had 5.7 mil, you think I'd be here? I'd be a David Dobrik just eating kebabs, yelling at one of his hot assistants. Are those his assistants? Does he date them? Who are they?
They're just girls that work for him.
Dude, that sounds so
There's
weird.
really
Sounds so weird.
There's really just two.
They're just hot girls.
Well,
that work
one's
for
not an
him.
assistant. One runs his company, Natalie, and then Taylor is like his
Natalie's
head
great.
of content. And Natalie's great.
Okay. All right. Number 2. What frat was Trevor Wallace in? I was in Delta Upsilon, which is they're only cool at other schools. It sounds like when somebody's like,
It sounds like a
my
sorority.
girlfriend goes to a different school. The letters were a triangle, delta, and then a Y for Upsilon. I mean, like, it was either that or join Pike, and
Yeah.
we all know what happens at Pike.
If we don't.
Drugs, not
Oh,
good
really?
ones. Yeah, I don't know, but my cousin was in that one at that school, and he showed me a tour before like rush week, and it was sick.
Did you get hazed?
Not really. What's funny because like,
How do frats do that now?
you, yeah, no, frats now, I think are more. I think frats now are more like it's more like drinking punishments. Like it depends on the school. I think you're in Alabama, they'll like you up. They like beat your ass.
Yeah. You still close with those guys?
A few.
Yeah.
A few of those guys, yeah. I mean, it's really, I think it's like kind of like you cast a wide net at the frat, 100 people, and then you find like 7 that are like your boys.
Yeah. And did they all go into like regular jobs?
Yeah, a lot of them do like finance, business type stuff.
Yeah.
Random shit every once in a while. I'll like bump into somebody out here, but yeah, I was like the only guy in my frat who was, I went to school for film, but I was like the only guy who was in that program. But like it was great because when Vine was big, I was like starting to make videos on Vine.
Yep.
And like I had a disposal of like 50 dudes. I could be like, yo, you guys want to hop in this real quick?
Yeah.
And I had like one video get big, and it was just with like five of my friends before we went out that night.
That probably did a lot for your comedy too.
It was great.
Being with a bunch of straight-laced dudes and you being the funny one. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you're immersed in something that's like not you, it makes you really funny. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also thought Vine was great because it gave me like a Spotify premium trial of like, this is what you could have.
Yeah.
Like it was like a teaser of like, cause I posted a video. One of my friends who was in the frat had a friend who was big on there, and he like revined it and it like blew up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is how an idea works, where if it's a good idea, it's funny, it starts to get traction. I mean, I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
But I just was in college and I saw a video gain its traction.
Yeah. No, tell the audience. I think it's interesting. Yeah.
But I just saw one video kind of like get the traction, and it started seeing my views go up, and all the other videos I posted started to go up, and I go like, dude, this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And ever since Vine died, and then I started making videos on Facebook and YouTube, I was like, once I catch that moment again, that was the Zoomies video. I was like, all right, fucking keep going. Back at it, So
you just work all the time, huh?
yeah.
It's nuts, man.
yeah, I mean, I just love it. And
I would find it really hard to do stand up and make videos.
It's like two separate like brain parts. I think it's like I literally like shut off one side and then turn on the other. You know, like when I'm before shows, I'm either writing or going over stuff in my head. I'm like only in stand up world, but in the daytime, I'm like only in video world.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, it's just like my brain is like this side is stand up, this side is video. And when I get an idea, I go, okay, is this a visual idea or can I do this on stage? So like my notes app is like, you know, I have like a comedy bits section, which is just a random thought or a premise. And then my video ideas is just like more like, oh, I could see this one easily being a YouTube video.
Yeah, more broader, this versus that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, stand-up tends to be more personal.
Yeah.
And then video stuff is more just like relatable or observational stuff that I see happening, whether it's like, oh, everybody drinks Bang Energy, time to make a video about it. But like if I did it on stage, people might be like, what? Which one is that again? What does that look like? And you got to like paint the picture.
Yep.
So I tend to stick to more towards like what people can easily visualize on stage.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Babbel. Guys, you want to learn a language? Do you want to learn a second language? This is a wonderful app where you can go learn all kinds of languages, brush up on your Spanish, brush up on your French. You know, my housekeeper, Irma, she only speaks Spanish, but thanks to Babbel, I've been brushing up on my Spanish so I can say wonderful things to her like, Irma, thank you for cleaning this house. You are a godsend. Let me tell you more about Babbel. For most of us, learning a second language in high school or college wasn't exactly a high point in our academic careers. Now, thanks to Babbel, the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions, there's an additively fun and easy way to learn a new language, whether you'll be traveling abroad, connecting in a deeper way with family, or just if you have some free time. Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons that you'll actually use in the real world. Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 100 language experts. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Oh, my God. So, listen, you can try it, and you can send it back if you don't like it. Get your money back. That's wonderful. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, get up to 55% off your subscription. Wow, more than half off when you go to babbel.com/Nash. That's babbel.com/Nash for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. Okay, back to the podcast. Like, do you have sets this weekend you're doing?
Yeah, I just have one tonight.
Where?
Laugh Factory.
How's that?
Love it.
You love the Laugh
The
Factory.
Laugh Factory is my favorite club in LA.
Really?
Oh, when you're like, when it's hitting in there, it's just like it's a 2-story club. So the laughter's coming at you damn near 360.
Yeah.
I mean, the best comedy clubs are the ones that are like low ceilings, packed in. The Hollywood Improv's another great one. Dude, I used to host a show in the back of a Marie Callender's every Friday and Saturday in Santa Clarita. It's now torn down. It's a Starbucks.
Take us back to that. What was that like when you were at a Marie Callender's?
Terrible gigs. So,
wait, a Marie Callender's, that's like a pie place.
Pie
right?
shop. So the funny part was you could either get paid $25 or a pie. And you think I'm like kidding? Real. And there was times where I'd be like, it, lemon meringue. How I got there, I started at a comedy club in Ventura Harbor Comedy Club.
Yeah.
And the owner, he would give me spots there on the week. Like he could be like, you can do 10 minutes on this Thursday show. But the weekend time was like coveted because he was the guy, he would host the show, you know.
The club owner who also performs. Yeah, I know it well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like comedians are delusional. They're like, hey, do you want to fix the toilet or put maybe a stall door? Or do you want to work on your 10 minutes in front of this crowd? They're like, I need my validation.
Yes. You need your time.
It's a certain, and everybody knows those guys in the scene that is like, they run the club, but they also do stand-up, right?
Yep.
So he never gave the weekend time, but he goes, but I do have another club, use that term loosely. It's in Santa Clarita. It's in the back of a Marie Callender's. JR's Comedy. And I was maybe making videos at this point. This is like 2015, 2016-ish. And he goes, you can host it. But hosting means you took people's tickets at the door, you sat them, you started the music, you introduced yourself. I mean, dude, it was so sad. Yeah. The stage was probably here, then 10 feet to the right, there was a little music box, and you'd turn your back with the mic and be like, make some noise for your host and MC, Trevor Wallace. And then you'd walk up, you'd have to say some hacky joke, being like, keep it going for the DJ. And it was all old people.
Yeah.
You had, because it was
that's tough for you. People that don't know Zoomies or don't know all the things that you think are funny.
Because it was Marie Callender's, and it was where the stage was. There was just a curtain that blocked the restaurant versus the show. Yeah. So you had to be PG-13 in case some kid walked by, and you'd be like, fuck her in the whatever your punchline is. Right. You had to be clean. And I did that for almost 2 years, and it sucked because ultimately it was great process, and I understand you got to do those gigs to understand and find what your lane of comedy is, because I would write jokes that would skew towards the older audience of Marie Callender's, and then I would do them at the open mics in LA, and people would be like, the f*** is this? Are you a cruise ship comic? And then I would do like the cool LA jokes that a 25-year-old would talk about at the time, and then the people in the crowd there would be like, we don't know what Bumble is. Yeah. So I just kept going back and forth, and then thank God in like 2017, you know, some of the videos were starting to do well, and I remember there was these kids at Marie Callender's, and they were there with their family, and they're like, dude, aren't you the Zoomies guy? And I was like, yeah, man, I got to get the out of here. And then I just like hit up the owner of the comedy club guy, and I was like, yeah, you know, I think I'm out. And then they found another guy to transition into that spot, but
you were done.
I just, you know, I wasn't growing.
Did your time.
I did my time for some, you know, but I just wasn't growing as a comedian. And I was like, you know what, if I want to invest my time, I want to put it more into like the scene in LA. Yeah. If you're the biggest comedian in Santa Clarita, it's not doing a whole lot for your career. You know? Right. So
go back to the board. Let's see what we got here.
But yeah, it's a fun kind of story. So when
it's a great story.
I do respect the process so much. What college did Trevor Wallace go to? San Jose State University. It was my last choice of the 7 places I got into, or 7 places I applied to, but I went there.
San Jose is cool.
It was great. I had an awesome time there.
I did a show there once. Cool.
That's San Jose Improv?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great club.
Yeah, it's really good.
And since I wasn't a frat, I remember I messaged the booker of the San Jose Improv, and I was like, hey, I have like 50 people that want to see me. Can I do 5 minutes? And the guy'd be like, yeah. You can bomb on a Sunday. Well, we just made, you know, $3,000 off your friend's drinks. What movies has Trevor Wallace been in? Yes. None. I did some small independent film recently, but I don't know. It was with All Things Comedy, so maybe that'll get pitched around or sold. But,
who was in that?
Oh, it was great. It was Esther.
They made a movie?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's called Drugstore June. It's coming out. Don't know when. Should be June. Great marketing.
Sure.
But Bobby was in that. Bobby Lee. Bill Burr was in that. Not in my scene, but Bad Baby. I have a scene with Bad Baby.
Do you really?
Yeah.
How's that?
You know, I remember seeing on the call sheet. Yeah. It's like, Trevor Wallace, 10 a.m., Danielle Bergoli. And I go, I don't think I've met too many Bergolis in my town.
I know that name.
And then I talked to somebody, go, yeah, it's Bad Baby. She pulls up in a $400,000 like Rolls Royce, the one with the doors that open, you know, like in like a refrigerator door where they both open out. Yeah. I mean, and she's just, she came with a posse. She didn't really talk to anybody. She did her thing. Yeah. But you know, a little banter here and there just between sets. But
you did a scene with her though.
Yeah. Which is cool. I just saw the cut literally 2 days ago. It's pretty funny.
The Chainsmokers thing was cool.
Oh, yeah. That was a cool collab.
They always do really cool content.
Yeah, they're dope. That
was great.
They're good
really
guys.
Funny.
And that was something that I wanted to like shoot a more traditional. We had like 3 cameras, really, you know, not rush it. Did
you pitch that to them or they pitched to you?
They reached out to me to like, let's do a video. And then I pitched that to them. They're like, we're down.
Perfect.
I think they thought it was going to be like a TikTok video.
Yeah.
Because we showed up with like C-stands and lights and like tripods, and they're like, oh, this is a full thing. And I was like, oh yeah, you're the Chainsmokers. You have so many people that work for you. You just show up.
Yeah.
They're like, what are we doing? Making a video. Sick. No more questions. Super dope, guys. That was a cool video to make.
Yeah, it was good.
How did Trevor Wallace get famous? With feet pics. I think just videos. Yeah. I think videos. You know, do people ask you questions like that?
How'd you get famous?
Well, just like, you know those backhanded compliments? Yeah. Like if somebody's at a bar with you and they go, dude, how did you get famous? It's not the best question.
No.
I remember I was at a bachelor party like 3 years ago in Palm Springs, middle of COVID, Palm Springs, the Florida of California. I don't go,
Yep.
This guy goes, so you make the videos? How much money you make from that? And I was like, I don't really know, man. He goes, cool, yeah. So what's your real job? What's your real? And I go, no, I make videos. He goes, right, but like in like 2 to 3 years, like what are you gonna? I was like, dude, what is this?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm past this phase of like this stepdad being like, no, but what are you really doing?
Was he older guy?
I think he was just a dude who probably just works, just a pretty straightforward, regular.
I guess a lot of people don't understand you can make money doing this.
Right. But like, I get it. Like maybe he just saw like maybe he didn't know I did stand up or had a podcast and just saw a few TikToks and he was like, so what do you really do?
Yeah.
Which I just thought was funny. I was like, that's a fun, humbling moment. How tall is Trevor Wallace?
You 6?
6 foot.
Yeah.
6 on the dot.
I sized you up when you walked in.
How much is Trevor Wallace worth?
Well, we already did that one.
What the the same? I'm worth whatever your heart says.
My assistant's in the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why there's a mistake there. She was rushing out.
Oh, your assistant's actually in the Bahamas?
Yeah.
That's just a funny sentence to say. I thought you were just fucking with me.
It is funny to say, Trevor, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a funny sentence to say that your assistant would leave for 3 days to go to the Bahamas.
What's happening?
Well, we have this friend, Corinna. You know Corinna Comp?
I do. Speaking of somebody who made a lot of money on OnlyFans.
Right. Corinna does very well. And Corinna's great. She's very generous. So she just decided to take all the assistants to the Bahamas.
Oh,
yeah.
So
on a private plane and everything. Like,
holy
yeah, pretty cool. And I was like, okay, I guess you can
usually
go.
When you take a private plane to an island, there's illegal things happening. So shout out to Corinna for pulling
I
that.
didn't think of that, Trevor.
But
no.
We're making money.
We gotta get that flight log.
Parts. Who knows? Get the flight log. Is Clinton on there?
Yeah.
So wait, so all the assistants, like you have somebody who's dedicated to you, or they're all under like one?
Well, like I have an assistant, David has an assistant.
And they're all just friends?
And they're all friends. And
Gotcha.
then David has like a former assistant who went, and then Natalie,
But you have an assistant who's just friends with them? It's not like you hired her from...
This is Jack.
This is your assistant?
This is my assistant in the Bahamas right now. Well, we're here.
Whoa. A lot of feet pics. A lot of feet pics. Who are these men?
Last one.
Where's Trevor Wallace from? Naperville, Illinois for 2 years. And then I was drafted to Camarillo, California. Where to watch Trevor Wallace stand up? There's some on YouTube. There's definitely some bits on there. But honestly, I'm usually adding tour dates pretty frequently. None right now, but coming up soon.
Okay.
Hopefully to a city near you. But yeah.
You got like an hour you're working on?
Yeah. Got an hour working on. The goal is to shoot it here early summer. Pitch it around.
Hell yeah. You're going to do a special?
Doing a special. Pitch it around.
You're going to go the YouTube route, do it yourself? Like post it because you have such a big audience. You should put it on your channel.
That's the goal. We're going to pitch it around, see if anybody bites first.
Yep.
That's what Chris DiStefano did.
Yep.
Shot it, pitched it around. Netflix ended up biting. Yep. If it's... This is a talk I had with my manager. He's like, if you post something on YouTube, you have an audience. People are going to see it. But he goes, if you want to do anything traditional, you got to get out of the YouTube world. Because a YouTube guy doing a YouTube thing isn't going to excite traditional. But a YouTube guy sells a show to this streaming platform. Oh, we're taking a step in traditional. So I'm in the middle.
I think you have your next video.
Yeah.
Where he's Netflix executive.
Dude. You know who I want to work for is TLC. They be buying shows. They don't give a f***. They're like, it's a couch, but it's diabetic. And you sit on it with Skittles in your back pocket. TLC does not give a f***. I love it. It's hilarious.
I don't watch TLC. Is it good?
No. Oh my God. I grew up watching like Jerry Springer religiously. So like trash TV is just my favorite.
Yeah. So like people,
TLC is like my 600-pound
like people that are too fat,
sisters.
Too fat for the couch. Like they get sewn into the couch and they have to be airlifted out of the house. Like stuff like that.
That would be a season finale for sure. Dude, they literally like go on their like homepage. It is crazy. It's like my 6,000-pound sister. It's like those are like My Strange Addiction. If you ever saw those clips.
Yeah.
It's like a guy making love to a car's muffler.
That I've seen.
Which is essentially think about it.
Yeah.
It's like a girl's like addicted to eating her sofa, her mattress.
Right.
Shows like that, I go, great.
Is the pimple thing a show? A pimple popper?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a show too.
I don't know what that. It's probably on there, but it's like that's my favorite type of TV. Who is Trevor Wallace dating? Seeing a nice lady right now, and that's that.
Cool.
does Trevor Wallace have a kid? Not that I know of. No, I don't. I don't have a kid.
Why is that on there?
I know
Why would people think you had a kid? You look literally like 22.
I
know you're not, but
yeah,
you look young.
The internet is just wild. I think people just get like Mad Lib type thoughts where they're just like in their head, they're just computing like Trevor Wallace, kid? Trevor Wallace life? Trevor Wallace virgin? Like it's just like the plugins, you know.
Today's podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Yes, SeatGeek, guys, what a wonderful app. We all know about SeatGeek. We've heard about it. I talk about it all the time. I talk about it more than my own mother. We've seen so many shows over the years. Right now in LA, I looked at SeatGeek the other day. Beyonce is coming. SZA is coming. Cigarettes After Sex, they're a big band that I just got into. When you have the SeatGeek app on your phone, you're ready and you can easily buy these tickets. They go right to your phone. There's never any problem. You don't lose the tickets. Oh my God, thank God for SeatGeek. They sponsored my roast. They were the first sponsor on this podcast. So please go support SeatGeek. Go check them out. If you want to try SeatGeek, if you want to go download the app, have it on your phone, and then if you do want to purchase something, you're going to get $20 off your first order when you use my code NASH. That's an incredible deal. My thanks to SeatGeek for sponsoring this podcast. And yeah, all right, back to the show. Can we go through a couple of stories? These are Trevor, I've been reading Daily Mail, and I just love this. Kanye, they don't know what to do with $500 million worth of Yeezys. Insane.
Donate.
But to who? Who's going to wear them?
Countries. Dude, I'll fucking wear them. I don't give a shit. I'm Jewish. There's nothing more Jewish than taking free clothes. Here's the thing, dude.
That's funny.
But here's Gucci did this a while ago, and I don't wear anything crazy like that, but like you see girls wear it. It'll be like a Gucci purse and it says like not Gucci, but it is Gucci, you know?
Right.
Like they go against her. So just put like not Yeezy or Yeezys and then put like underneath like sucks.
There's a solution.
Like a reverse psychology brand.
Yeah. This is tomorrow night.
What is it?
Chris Rock is going to premiere speaking of Netflix specials, he's going to premiere his Netflix special on tomorrow night, and I think it's live.
Is it?
I think so. And he's going to talk about Will Smith, apparently. He hasn't.
You have to.
You haven't crossed paths with him at Laugh Factory or anything?
No, I've met him once.
You did?
Santa Monica. That's somebody I followed. Neil Brennan's show.
Neil Brennan's so funny.
Neil is so goddamn smart. So Neil Brennan has a show there on Tuesdays, and he goes, all right, you're up. There's a small chance Chris Rock is going to come in. And I'm like, yeah, man. Chris Rock is going to drive to Santa Monica on a Tuesday. Sure enough, dude in a beanie, Bose headphones, walks in the green room, fucking Chris Rock. And then Chris Rock goes up and he does 20, 25 minutes. And then I go, well, time for me. Chris Rock and now a TikToker, you know?
No way.
That was fine. But I think it was just me being present. I go, keep it going for Chris Rock, a legend, and now a kid who's gonna go home after this and yell about swiping up. You know, like I think I was just cognizant of what it was, but that's the story I forgot about. Yeah,
that's crazy.
But I saw him do like 30 minutes at the Hollywood Bowl with that night.
Chappelle?
Yeah, remember when some guy tried to stab Chappelle that night?
You were there?
I was at that show.
Adam W. was there.
Yeah, I was there. And I mean,
and what happened?
With what?
So
part?
he did 30.
So he did 30. This was pretty recent after the whole Will Smith thing.
Yeah.
He walks out. All the lights cut off. This music starts playing. A spotlight hits him. Goosebumps. I mean, dude,
nobody knew he was coming out.
I don't think it was I don't think that nobody knew.
Yeah.
I think it was a surprise.
Yeah.
And man, he crushed.
He did.
It's just like all the attention was just on him. It's like, that's the dude after the Will Smith thing. Now he's here.
Right.
And the spotlight, and I forget what he says. I would butcher it even if I did remember. But he's just like a one sentence, like I'm okay or something like that.
Yeah.
And then went into it. But he didn't really address too much.
And then you saw the stabbing or the attempted stabbing.
I thought it was a bit.
Were you close?
No, I was pretty far back.
And you just,
I thought it was a bit.
Well, yeah, right.
Because this was so recent after the Will Smith thing that I thought Dave just had a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Which he does. And I thought he was just going to be like, oh, remember the Will Smith thing? No, the guy's going to do it to me. Turns out it was a dude who like climbed some part of the Hollywood mountains, like Runyon, with a knife and snuck it down.
He never had a ticket even.
No, he went through the back, like the mountains and came down. Somehow got that close to the stage. You know, that's Hollywood. You do running, you get those endorphins pumping. You're like, I'm gonna stab Dave Chappelle. So that's why hiking is dangerous. You get too confident in this town. You're like, you see the Hollywood sign, you're like, I'm gonna take over.
Dude, that's especially funny because I do Runyon.
Yeah,
and it is a rush.
Oh my god! Yeah, of course. I mean, I've never had a rush like that. I just did my first ice bath yesterday.
Oh, how long did you last?
Dude, long time because we were filming a video.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really paying attention, but maybe 7 minutes.
That's good.
It was insane.
First time I did it, I did 3. Second time I did it, I did 8.
Dude, I think I like afterwards, I like wrapped up in a robe and then laid in, we'll get to the fact that you have a ringtone as an adult. We'll get to the fact of that shortly after. You have an MP3 playing. Was that Creed?
You know what it is?
What is that?
It's the worst ringtone. And because I'm old, I don't know how to switch it.
You're f***ing lying. You turn the button on the side. What is it?
No, but I don't know how to change it.
Is it the Bahama girl?
No, it's this thing that goes, it's your baby mama. Because I initially put it in for my ex-wife as like a joke for my kids to make my kids laugh. But then but now it just rings when anyone calls it. It's your baby mama. But I don't even know what that, it is.
So
a ringtone.
it could be like Sparklets calling. Yeah. You're like, your water delivery's tomorrow.
It was Sparklets.
Are you serious?
Literally, I don't know. It was like an 818 number.
Wow. But you know what? I wanted to talk, but then you said the thing about the kids. You're like, dude, I'll do anything to make my kids laugh. I was like, that's a good dad right there. I'll do anything to make my kids laugh. Even if it's buying a 99-cent ringtone.
I learned Cardi B's "I Like It" verse the other night from my daughter and her friends, as just for fun. Like I have to drive her to volleyball. It's really far, so I had like 45 minutes to kill, and I was like, okay, let me just. They didn't ask for this, and I'm like, let me just learn.
Yeah,
you know, I like it.
Yeah,
I like dollars. I like shining. I like stunting. I like shining. I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? Bitch, I'm signing. So I learned it for them, and then I performed it for them, and they were well. They loved it.
Oh, it's great.
It was great.
The worst thing is you're like halfway through the verse, they start just texting on their phone. You're like, am I bombing for my own family members right now?
Dude, as they get older too, it's tougher to make them laugh. And
of course.
Then you start to be the butt of the joke.
Right.
Right. They start Snapchatting me. Like my daughter was Snapchatting my feet the other night because my feet are gross. And just all her friends are just commenting like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Like your dad is so gross.
Damn. I mean, I think at the end of the day, for the most part, from what I've experienced, is like self-deprecation as a dad will always, like a joke might not land, but I remember like, dude, you see like a dad like trip and hit his head on the counter and a kid's like laughing hysterically.
Right.
And then you like put that in your act. You're like, I'm just going to fall around the house and eat whenever baby's crying. You know?
Yeah, that's
so at the end
true.
of the day, if you become the butt end of the joke, it's out of like love.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I love it. Honestly, when they get to be teenagers, you love any interaction they give you. You know what I mean? Because they have their own lives.
And we're talking about family members in case somebody tries to clip that and say teenagers loving you. You know, people be clipping dude. Twitch, I'm saving this for you.
Thank you, Trevor.
Because just a camera shot of you being like, when teenagers, teenagers.
You know, it's good. I'm glad you did that.
You know.
But yeah, they're 17 and 14 and they just got their own lives, man. They're just gone. They're LA kids because they have Uber and they have Postmates. So once they got Uber and Postmates, forget it. They're done. They don't need you anymore. Food and transpo, that's it. They're done.
And in a weird sense, you think as a dad, you'd be like, good. But then you're like, oh, I miss.
Yeah. No, you're crushed.
You got Katsuya? I was going to make you a peanut butter and jelly. Like, it's got to be kind of hard to.
So funny.
Wow.
I literally the other night.
You dressed up as a Postmates driver. You're like, here's your lunch, Dad. I wrote a note, leave a tip or a hug.
Yeah, man, that's what happens. Are you gonna have kids?
I want to someday.
Yeah, you'd be a good dad.
Yeah, I think that would be fun, and I also think that would force me to not be like, oh, business videos, stand up. Like it's like that's you know, you have a child, like that becomes your life.
Yeah,
it's a whole new chapter. But even where my dumb ass goes, that's so much stand up material. It's like or a fucking kid. You know, like
you get both.
You get both.
You get both. You get a ton of great material, and then you get like you be a dad, which is the best thing you'll ever do. Yeah, it's really something. And I'm not like a sappy guy, you know, like. But I feel it sounds cringy to say it.
No, not at all.
But it actually really is.
I don't think anybody with kids would understand.
We got another story. Oh, this was interesting.
Wait, do I know this girl?
I think I've seen this girl on TikTok.
No, I don't know this girl.
No, I think I've seen her. Anyway, this girl, she goes on a plane, and she she makes a TikTok, which is like, hey,
I've never seen a TikTok on a plane where people respect. Like nobody's ever like good content. So it's like a guy like picking toenails or like look at this drunk bitch.
Yeah, that's how. Wasn't there an old Vine trend too where you would do the pilot, you'd film your face, and then you would have the pilot voice over something crazy? Remember that Vine trend?
Yeah.
Anyways, this girl's on a plane. She makes a TikTok basically saying, this family wants to switch seats with me so they can sit together, and I told them no. And there's a video in there, Ferris. What do you think about that? What do you think about something? Here, let's watch.
Yeah, I want to watch first. I want to see how she handles it. Day of the mail.
Girl, them kids and you too.
Here's where I'm at.
Now, some people defended her.
Here's where I'm at. I agree with her.
You do?
I wouldn't post about it. I wouldn't brag about it. I wouldn't sip Pinot Grigio and be like, them kids. But here's the thing. I travel so much. I know the exact seat I like on a flight.
Yeah.
I got a small bladder. I pee a lot. Give me an aisle seat and give me direct line on the right side so I can see the bathroom.
Yes.
So I can see if the ding sign is on.
Yeah.
And I like that seat. And then if somebody goes, hey, my husband, like if I'm there, first class, if I'm sitting there and then the window seat next to me is a wife and she's like, hey, my husband, I'll be like, I got really bad like bladder. Because I do have a bad bladder. It's small. It's tiny.
Yeah, you had to pee here.
I peed out. I literally peed outside.
Yeah.
There was a flight coming back from North Carolina, Charlotte. I peed 5 times, and I go, I don't want to be the guy. It was an early morning flight.
Yeah.
A lot of liquids, coffee, orange juice, water.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy in the window. Like I'll be like, yeah, I'll switch with you as long as you're okay with getting the other person to sign an NDA that I don't have a small bladder and I pee a lot.
Right.
And I'm just like, I get it. I fly so much that I go, I need access.
Yeah.
I gotta pee.
Okay, so you're with her.
Where are you at on this?
I would switch just because I'm a dad and I know what it's like if you can't sit with your family. But I would definitely switch.
I would look at the dad and I'd say, is there pain in that man's eyes?
Yes.
Let him have 4 hours alone to himself.
Yes.
Let him listen to a golf podcast or something. Because you live together. You're with each other all the time. If it's a kid, different story.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, I need my mom or whatever.
One time I went to Hawaii with my 2 kids. I was going to see my ex-wife because she was working. And this
working
woman,
what?
She was making a show there. She makes TV.
Gotcha.
She was doing a show
for
like CBS or whatever. And so I had to take the kids there. And this woman came up to me and she's like, hey, I'm going to leave my son here. I'm going to switch seats. So I have to watch another kid for the entire flight. She left him with me.
Is that even legal?
She did it. And I was really pissed the entire time. And I was like, because the kid was annoying.
It also sounded like you don't have an option. Like she wasn't like, hey, do you mind?
I didn't have an option. She just sent him there. And then at the end of the flight, she did come by and she thanked me. And she goes, thank you so much. She goes, his father died 2 days ago. And I was like, why would you leave him with me?
Fatherly.
People are nuts.
Attributes. Dude, I have a similar story to that. I was going to Hawaii and on the flight home, I wanted to sit next to my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Right? And there was an elderly lady next to me and it was seeing if she could sit next to me. The girlfriend sit next to me. And the lady goes, I'll think about it before the flight. She goes, I'll think about it. And so we're sitting there, the plane's boarding. 5 minutes go by and I go, have you had a chance? And she goes, I think I'm just going to stay here. And I go, and I'm texting my friends, who is me, girlfriend, and 2 other friends. I'm texting the group chat. I'm like, this fucking bitch. Move your 87-year-old ass. Here's where it turns into what you said. She goes, yeah, I went to Hawaii to throw my husband's ashes at his favorite place that he used to like to surf.
Same story.
And I go, was it the same lady? But I had this moment where I go, you know what, Trevor? Why are you judging this lady? She's such, I ended up having a whole blown conversation about her. She was retired. She went out there. She did all of her favorite activities that they used to do together. Yeah. She like took photos of it. And I was like, thank God I had this interaction. It made me like a little more appreciative. Mm-hmm. But like, there was that moment where I was like, this
yeah, everyone's got to dial it back a little, including her.
Of course.
Because you're right. She shouldn't have made the TikTok.
The video is like, I think a lot of times people will make a video. I don't know if she has a big following. I think a lot of times people jokingly make videos not expecting it to pop.
Yeah.
And then it pops and they're like, oh, I was kidding.
Yes.
But if you go to your page and my page, you go, oh, comedy. This is all a joke.
Yeah.
But funny.
Yeah, I don't.
Funny video, but like I wouldn't post.
I'm not trying to be hard on her. That's probably exactly what happened.
Yeah, I also
She's
want to
probably
know
just like off the cuff.
Exactly. I also want to know where they're flying. You know, if they're flying to San Antonio, who gives a shit? If it's like a 12-hour flight to Cairns, then talk, right?
Yeah,
But-
she's in first though for sure.
Oh yeah.
So she's doing
Yeah, you see
good.
the seat back.
Well, this was an odd
Jake's
story.
Tat at. Is that a vape pen?
I don't know. Jake was paid to put a tat on him.
Paid?
Yeah, like an alcohol company paid him $250,000 to put. But now the tattoo's gone.
Hilarious if he did a henna tattoo. Hilarious if he went to Venice Beach before the fight. Can you just say, yeah, whistle pig right here? I would do that.
He takes the $250.
Easy.
I DM'd him after his fight. I keep up with him.
Are you guys close?
We're not close, but he had me to his house once, and he was so freaking nice.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, shoot whatever you want. I'll be whatever you want.
Was this team 10 days? Was this boxing days?
It was when he had the house in Calabasas, so he hadn't really boxed yet. Maybe he had one fight. No, I didn't think he had one fight yet. And Team 10 was like done.
On his way out, yeah.
But he was still doing great. And so I DM'd him after the fight. You know, it's funny. What do you think about that? What do you say to somebody after they lose a fight?
I don't even say anything.
See, that was the thing when Bryce fought. I didn't DM him, and I'm close with Bryce, and I felt bad, like, or maybe I did, but I don't think I DM'd him because like I feel like you have to be with people in their losses too.
Okay, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I did DM Jake, and I just said
I would at least say
great.
something funny or be like, may have lost, but you won in my heart. Or,
yeah.
you look. I've never seen somebody so sexy get knocked out or something.
Yeah.
I have a cool photo at the Improv actually. I'm on stage and Jake Paul's front row.
Oh, yeah?
And it's a shot. I'll see if I can find it. He's laughing. He's got a big laugh, and it's like I'm like in it, and then he's got a big laugh.
That's sick.
It's a cool photo. Just to
He's a good kid. I like Jake.
next time he wins a fight, I'll put on my Instagram and be like, shout out to my boy, my dog.
Him losing is actually good.
Well, it keeps people interested.
But now you know that the fights are not fixed.
You know they're not fixed, and it also keeps people interested because now
Right.
it goes. Because if you do, if everybody's always winning, you start you're like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Then he loses. Oh, who's gonna fight next?
Yeah. Judge me by my losses, not by my wins.
Boom.
Okay, I think you'll like this story. This is Tom Brady, who just retired, might become a stand-up comedian.
Interesting. I honestly did hear about this.
You did?
I did, and I think he could do kind of what WWE guys do. A lot of WWE guys like tour.
Yep.
It's just a lot of stories.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, like this guy,
Why would he want to do this?
he just hates being alone. he was retired for 14 hours and was like, I'm back. I saw his wife left him. Dude, he's got the resume of a perfect stand-up. His wife left him. His kids are off somewhere.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of money, doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah. He's he probably just works at such a high level that like he accomplished something that no one thought he could do. He probably thinks he can do this too.
Well, his life is day in, day out. He's got a schedule. He's got a routine. He's got everything. And he's a work guy. And then
But isn't stand-up so brutal too to go and try and do that?
It is. And the hard part with this is like, who would say no to putting Tom Brady on their show?
What's harder, going up, being sacked or bombing?
Oh, bombing, dude. Because if you get sacked, you can blame it on the offensive line.
Right.
If you bomb,
It's all on you.
who are you going to blame?
Yeah.
Oh, Mercury's in retrograde. And that's actually what I'm going to say next time a joke doesn't hit.
Trevor, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
You're an awesome guy.
Thank you so much,
And you're
dude.
so funny, and you have like such a great outlook. Don't ever lose that outlook, man. You're
man.
killing it.
It's very nice of you to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Thanks,
come
Jason.
see you again. I'll come
Please,
see you
dude.
next time you're performing.
Please.
Wait, you got a show tonight?
Yeah, Laugh Factory.
Laugh Factory tonight? I can't come.
I get it.
You want to plug anything? Your podcast is Stiff Socks.
Podcast is Stiff Socks.
Yep. I didn't even talk about that. Sorry.
No, you're good, dude. We'll have you on someday. Stiff Socks Podcast, out every Wednesday. It's a good time. I got some tour dates coming up pretty soon here. They haven't been announced, but I'll let you guys know. Other than that, I just post a bunch of videos on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and now Snapchat.
Yeah, you're back on Snapchat. Okay,
Back
good.
on the Snap.
All right.
So follow me on there. Check it out on there. Watch the videos, and yeah.
All right, dude. Guys, we'll see you next time. Go follow Trevor everywhere and go check out his pod. All right. Bye, guys.